Hey YouTube, it's Dimitri, and today we're going to do tips and tricks for resumes here, mistakes I commonly see, so let's just dive on in. Okay, so the first number one tip here is do not put your picture on a resume. In the United States, this is not common practice. It's even looked down upon, and I believe in many cases it could be viewed as an illegal practice. We don't like to hire people based on the way they look, so no. Now, yes, I know it sounds a little ridiculous because you can just go on LinkedIn and, figure out what they look like, most likely. But in general, no, don't put a picture on your resume. Big no-no. It does waste space as well. All right, tip number two, do not put your physical address on a resume. I think it is a very odd practice. Like, I don't really care where you live. It has no bearings on actually contacting you. And number two, a lot of really bad HR departments at many firms, even large ones that won't admit this, will actually do weeding out of resumes based on the address. So if you're in New York City and you're applying for New York City, awesome, it wastes space again. But if you're like, I don't know, in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and you're applying for a job in New York City, HR might look at it and say, oh, I'm going to throw out all the resumes that aren't already in New York City or in Chicago or in Dallas, wherever they're actually hiring at. And then they'll just toss all these resumes. So my advice, just get rid of the address here. It is just a waste of space and it's not needed. All right, tip number three here, don't put interests and hobbies on the bottom of your resume. It is a waste of space again, and it is stupid. And people like me that hire, especially in quant finance, don't care. And to be honest, if you're listing jobs that actually have like your interest on the bottom, like this resume that say traveling, tennis, intramural basketball, and photography, you're basically applying to a job that probably requires minimal skills, and they're just going to hire someone based off if they like them. Again, that's not how we should be doing hiring. So I highly discourage people from putting this on your resume. And no, I'm not going to look at a resume and go, man, I have two candidates that are just so close. Oh, this one loves beekeeping just like me. Awesome. I'm going to give him a hire. No, you're going to actually do more interviews, like more in-face or virtual interviews these days. You're going to do more interviews and figure out if they can really do the job, and you're going to weed out these candidates. So don't waste time putting these interests. I know business schools everywhere, top-rated MBAs do it. I'm not going to put a snarky remark here, but you can fill in what you'd probably expect me to say. Anyways, just don't put it in there. It's not worth wasting space for that. All right, so tip number four, make sure you put your education at the top of your resume and make sure this is going to be your selling point. So when you are coming out with a master's or a PhD, I know I am hiring a student. It's not a big surprise. I don't expect you to have a bunch of experience. So put your education at the top of the resume, right? That's what I'm looking to hire. I want a really strong academic student. I'm not looking for a student who's coming out of school who magically has 10 years of experience and is, super smart and brilliant. If you had all this experience, you wouldn't be going to get a master's or a PhD here. So again, put your education at the top here. The fifth point here is going to be kind of tied into that as well. So I have highly recommended people put their relevant courses and topics on top of their resume. And over the years, as I've been mentioning this, I start to see it happening more and more. And a lot of the quant programs actually do this now. So thumbs up to them. That being said, though, relevant courses, I don't like to actually put relevant courses. It should more realistically be relevant topics. The reason I have come to this conclusion over the years of reviewing many resumes is that the courses helps. It gets me a little bit closer to figure out what you took and covered in your graduate program or your undergrad or whatever. But again, I don't know what that means. Like, financial probability, for example, at one program and financial probability at a different program might cover completely different topics. Again, I hope there's some overlap. I hope that's an introductory course in this, or it's an advanced course or whatnot. But again, I don't know what you did or didn't cover. And often some programs go in much more depth. Some programs don't. So again, listing out relevant topics can be much more helpful. A little tip for this as well is if you look at all the job postings that you keep pulling up and you want to apply to, look at the skills they have. Often they'll have on there, experience with gradient boosting decision trees or experience with logistic regression or, Seremax models or something like that. If they have those listed on there, just make sure you put it here in the relevant topic section, because then an HR person and a hiring manager can quickly say, awesome, they've already done the modeling that I need, and then I can ask you questions about that in the interview. Anyways, those are my tips, those are my tricks. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and as always, until next time.